Hi, this is your discussion board for rubric discussion, rubric lecture. This is going to be a short, relatively short video. It certainly doesn't merit a lecture. I'll let you know how long it is when I get to the end. But so I have the rubric. This is a 50-point assignment. There are 5 sections. I've divided them in. So and the value of a rubric is to really be detailed about what the assignment looks for. So go ahead and self-grade your paper and make sure. So 1/5, 10 points. You get 10 points for these things, each of these 5 sections, right? So the title page should be very simple as far as the resources that I put out there. A sample paper, APA format. You can go up and look up APA format and create that from scratch, or you can download the template paper from the weeks. An introduction, just a little detail on that. The reference section, which is the same as you submitted during your lit review, only revised. And then the appendix. And that should include your sample survey or your survey instrument and anything else that would fall under appendix. So revised. So the idea is this is a second draft. This is almost your final paper. This is 3 out of the 5 sections of your final paper. So it constitutes a research proposal. So everything is in forward, even though there are few you may be collecting data right now. The idea is this research paper will explore, that we will collect data. We won't say we, but it will investigate, analyze, etc. Future orientation. If you're proposing this to the Gates Foundation to get $100,000 to fund the study, $10,000, $1 million, whatever. All right, so section 1, so straightforward on those things. The introduction section, this is really guided by, this is similar in line to the introduction you did in your lit review, discussion board 2, and the introduction in discussion board 3. And those are still going to be there. Don't take those out. This is just another version of that. So this is the first thing we read when the paper, why you chose this topic. And again, this isn't about you, so you don't want to say, Paul thought this was really good, and it's just really where my heart is. It's not an I thing, right? This topic is relevant because of this need based on how you identified it in XYZ. So why you chose this topic is not a personal, not looking for personal emotion. Just set up the relevance, your historical perspective based on, again, how that ties into the research that you've looked into. And then research problem, hypothesis, sub-questions. No null hypothesis in this list. So make sure you have a title page, reference section, the appendix, and then it's all in APA format. Okay, that's 10 points. Probably your wild card is this introduction section. But so try to make it include all those things, make it flow, and you should do fine, right? Number 2 for 10 points. So this is all discussion board. This is your lit review that you submitted. I gave you feedback. Some of it was simple. Some of it was more about concepts. And some of you had some more major revisions to do. That's fine. You remember the feedback I gave you if you were, for example, improperly citing something with 3 authors. I flagged it once and noted for you, make sure you review APA format. I did not go and flag every mistake, every miscited piece. So the idea is if I gave you a piece of feedback that's a teachable moment, you're learning, oh, this is how I cite that. And then you go back and apply that throughout your whole paper. Same thing, I know I talked about transition sentences ad nauseum to everyone because it wasn't really covered that well in advance. For transition sections, each of your sections or paragraph, again, make that literature and tie it up with a nice bow on why I care about that literature, how it relates to the study that we're proposing. So make sure you have all of those. Some of you I wrote, a transition sentence would look like this, but I didn't write that. I didn't write all of them for you. So make sure that you went through and completed that thought process. Number 3, research steps. Again, same thing, discussion board 3. Whatever I turned around, tried to challenge some of your thinking, cleared things up. Again, the justification and the procedures, the who, what, where, got a little mix-mashed. So I cleared that up. This is what just Justification describes, this is what participants and procedures look like. Conclusion is really 2 or 3 sentences, not a big deal. And all this, again, is now worth 10 points. Number 4 is your format. So no first person, all third person, all professional language, no cliches, no slang, and sometimes it's hard to tell. But that's why we proofread, and that's why that's why I'm more than happy to give you some feedback on that. Spelling, grammar, never had any real problems with that. And then includes all headings and subheadings to be thoughtful and organized. So your section should flow. That's really important. And then on time, right? So you get 10 points for submitting it on time. So maybe that's the easiest 10 points, or maybe it's the hardest. You can also get an extension if you need one. I won't give it out today, but if you need one and we're in the Friday, Saturday, Sunday time frame, I'll ask you to send me what you have, so that way we can show progress and say, okay, what do you need, a day, a 2, or 3 days? We don't want to push this back because I got to get this turned around for you, and we got more to do. All right.